I saw an old flame on a dating app. Every day is a story. I'm Shannon Cason. This is Monday. When I saw her on the dating app, it brought up good memories. We met at a storytelling show. Now, I was on stage telling stories, and she was like in the audience or something. So afterwards, we met, and in my mind, it was like networking. She was an artist, and she had a podcast. And I told her, and we were talking about podcasting, and I told her, let's get coffee sometime. And she said, okay, next week. And I was cool with that because sometime is usually no time unless you set a date. You'll say, hey, let's do that sometime, but sometime never comes. I got a friend of mine that we talked, DeAndre, we brought that up. Sometime is no time. So when she said next week, I thought that was perfect. So we talked, and she skips the coffee. Like she says, yeah, coffee. Let's go get a drink. And this is foreign to me, you know, because most times, like, I'm the lead in pursuing, but I'm an experimental person. This isn't bad. It may be a new experience. You know, it isn't bad. It's just different. Okay, let's go get a drink then. So we go out, and by the outfit that she had on, I could tell that it wasn't just networking because she had her back all out. I'm like, okay, look at this. Okay. So we sat down, we have our drink, and it was a great conversation. We having a good talk, and the talk is so good that we take a walk in the neighborhood, and we go to another spot for another drink. And I remember at the end, we kind of feigned the kiss. It wasn't we hugged at the end. We said we had a good time, and we got really close, but we didn't kiss. I told her, we got time for all that. And she said, we do. And we both left. So the next time that we go out, like we talk and we set another date, and she says that she wanted to show me her art. She had an exhibit that she was doing. It was in a small gallery, and she wanted me to see it. So before we went to see it, she said, we got to talk before we go see it. So we go have a drink, and I got to tell you a little bit about it. So we go to a little spot for a drink before we go to the gallery, and she tells me that her exhibit is very vulnerable, that it's an exploration of her sensuality, her eroticism, and I almost coughed on my drink. But I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, Shannon, put your grown man pants on, put your grown man face on. It's all good. Act like you've been here before, you know. So I'm telling myself that in my head. So we go to the exhibit after the drinks, and it's after hours. And it's a small gallery, and no one else is around. It's not open or anything. She had a key to the place, and we go in. It's dark. She has to turn on the lights and all this kind of thing. And I'm just reminding myself, you know, grown man energy, Shannon. Act like you'd have been here before. That's what a lot of guys do. You know, we have to we have to remind ourselves and hype ourselves up. So we go in the exhibit, and there's paintings, there's photography, and there's sculptures, all of the lady that I'm with, naked, nude, and very sensual in all these pictures, in all this art. And there's heavy fabrics, and there's rich browns and deep reds everywhere. And I'm walking around the exhibit, and I'm looking at the art, and I'm reading the small plaques, and I'm just staring at everything, taking it all in. And she asked me, what do you think? And I didn't answer immediately. I just kept looking around, and after a long while, I told her, come here. And she walked over slowly, and I opened my arms for a hug, and I told her, thank you for showing me your art. It means a lot. And she leaned in for the hug, and we both looked at each other up close. And I told her it's beautiful. And we kissed intensely. I mean, it was really intense. It was a long time of kissing, surrounded by all this beautiful art of the woman that I'm with. It was like an amazing experience. That was a cool experience. So we dated for a few months, and we would have these epic conversations about art. Like, she knew all about art and music and life, and we'd be drinking tea and just talking for hours sometimes. And I noticed that she was a Leo. She was into that too, like the zodiac astrology. She was into that. And I noticed she was a Leo, but my first wife was a Leo. And I'm not huge on the zodiac signs, but I've come to respect it over the years and over the patterns that I've seen over life, you know. And Leos, I notice I burn out. Like, it's a lot of heat from the start, and then it burns out fast. So for me, I was just looking at this, okay, this would be a different experience, because in this relationship, or, you know, situationship that we just meet in, she would take the lead in most of our experiences. And it was different for me. It wasn't bad. It was just different. You know, she would set the times that we would go out. She would ask for intimate moments. It was like everything was on her whim. And it wasn't bad, just totally different for me. And I remember, like, when I would set a time to go out, to go do something, to some new experience, she would decline. Like, she would either have something else to do, or she wouldn't even explain herself. She would just decline. And when I would make a move for a moment, like for us to have a special moment, she would withdraw. She would, you know, kind of play me back a little bit. So this wasn't bad. It was just different for me. But just like I prognosticated, just like I imagined, it burnt out after a short 3 to 4 months. It just kind of burnt out. We didn't break up or anything. It just kind of stopped. Leos have this whatever quality about us, you know, like whatever. And both of us can't be like, whatever, whatever. I've noticed that with Leos and Tauruses. Like, if I date a Leo or Taurus, it's fun at the beginning, but then over time it kind of burns out because our need for attention, we're not getting it from each other. But now here she is on my dating app. And I'm looking at the pictures and I'm reading the words, and she's very talented. She's beautiful. There's a ton of chemistry. We did have great conversations. What do I do? Swipe left or swipe right? I did nothing. I'll just wait till the app resets itself. Sometimes it resets itself eventually, and you get new suggestions. Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just gonna leave it right where it is. I remember how our situation used to always go in that kind of different way, so I'll just leave it where it is. One thing with me, I don't have any issues just respecting a special moment in life without feeling the need to repeat it, because there's so many special moments. Now, what would you have done? Would you have swiped right or left? Would you revisit something or someone or a relationship that you know in your heart will eventually burn out anyway? Let's talk about it.